Hello and thank you for joining me. I'm Heather Forgan of stampwithnellie.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator based in the UK, and I have created this lovely triangular wedge shaped box. So it's square on the bottom and it tapers in at the sides and is obviously wider at the top than it is at the bottom, and inside is one of these lovely little hand creams. I bought a pack of these from Costco here in the UK, and I think there was eight in the box, and that fits quite nicely in there, but any kind of small hand cream would probably fit in there. Okay, so I'm going to show you how I made this. This is actually a video supporting a blog hop. So it's the Touches of Ink blog hop. So there will be a link in the description for this video to that blog post, my blog post, and then you can hop around the other people taking part. It's normally a mix of UK and German demonstrators, but may not be exclusively so. So I hope you get lots of inspiration. The blog hop is designed so that there's no particular theme each month, but we have to choose a bundle or a suite to feature and try and stick to that, which is why there's no sentiment on this whatsoever. Oh my goodness, just noticed how much purple ink I've got on me. No idea how. There's a tiny little bit stamping and I've got more ink on me than on the box, but never mind. So I have used the Painted Lavender stamp set, and to be honest, I've only used one stamp from it for those lovely little butterflies, and I've used 1, 2, where's my butterflies? 3 dies. And I'm just using up some scraps from this gorgeous Painted Lavender. Nope, Perennial. That's Painted, this is Perennial. I have saved every tiny little bit of this paper that I haven't used so far. So my project doesn't use very much designer series paper. We've just got a thin strip front and back, but I've also die cut these pieces from the designer series paper, just to show that you don't always need to use cardstock, and I've not adhered them fully so that you can get a bit more dimension on the front of the box, and it also stands out a little bit better. Okay, so I have some more scraps. I've got this one, I'm going to die cut with that, and I've got this lovely green one that's going to be my leaves, so they can get die cut. And I've got a little scrap of crumb cake card that I'm just going to stamp right now and get the ink put away again so I don't put my hand on it again. I'm using Gorgeous Grape on crumb cake, and I've stamped it twice because I want 2 of the big ones and 1 of the little. So I will line that up, put a bit of tape. I've lost my washi tape. I've lost so many things recently in my craft room. I really need a bit of reorganisation. So I will die cut those in just a moment, but first of all, let's bring in the card. So this piece of crumb cake card measures 6.5 inches by 7 inches. I'm going to bring in my trimmer, and I'm just going to do the scoring on my trimmer for this. Okay, so let's pop that all the way out there. Right, so on my 7-inch side, so that's the long side, I'm just going to score that at 1.5 inches. Okay, 1.5 on that side. So on the shorter side, which is my 6.5, I am going to, in fact I don't need that, do I? I'm going to score that at 1.5. Then at 3 inches, 4.5 inches, and then at 6 inches. Okay, so the square at the bottom of the box is 1.5 inches by 1.5. Okay, so that's all my scoring done for this stage, but we need to put in diagonal score lines. So I need a pencil and I need my ruler. So between the first and the second score line is 1.5. So I want to mark that at 3/4 of an inch. So just halfway between those two score lines there, and do the same between the third and fourth score line. So 3/4 of an inch to there. Okay. Now, I'm going to show you two ways to do the diagonal scoring, and I'm just putting little dots in the cross sections between those score lines there, and we'll use the trimmer again to add that score line in. So I've got my pencil mark there in the middle of the track, okay, and then I'm lining up that dot that I put in there in the middle there, and then just score down like that. Okay, then pivot that around, so again keeping that mark in the middle of that track there, and then finding the dot that I did and keep putting that in the middle, and then just scoring down. Okay, so that's one way to do it. And remember to take your little pencil marks off. The other way you can do it is if you have a bone folder or a stylus, some kind of ball tool. You also get that on the Take Your Pick tool as well. Then use a ruler and line up your ruler between that pencil mark and that join there. So because I can see the join, I don't need a pencil mark there. Okay, so we'll do it that way. And then my join is there. So just butt my ruler up to that. And there you go. So whichever way you find easiest, go for it. All right, so I'm going to burnish the lines, and I'm going to do the straight ones first, and then I'll come back and do the diagonals. Okay. You could do this part before you put your diagonals in. It might actually be a little bit easier to do that. There we go. Then for my diagonals, just essentially fold it, and it's going to go, and you can just give that a little press as well. Fold it over like that, give that a little press. Same with these two. That one wants to go first, we'll do that then. And There we go. That one just needed a little bit more persuasion. Then we need to do a little bit of cutting. Okay, so along this bottom piece here, I'm going to cut straight up those score lines. And on this last one, I'm going to take a little bit off there, and I'm going to take that whole rectangle out completely with an extra little bit on there. I'm just going to take a little triangle off there. So I've got that nice tab at the end. We're going to leave these two intact, and I'm going to chop into these two here. Okay, so the ones that I've got the diagonal lines, I'm just going to take a little wedge off either side of those tabs, just to take out a little bit of the bulk for when it's folded up. And I've already taken that side off. Don't need to do it twice. There we go. So that's how it will look once you've finished your cutting and you've got your scoring in there. I now need to cut my pieces of designer series paper, and these want to be 5 3/8 by 1 3/8. In fact, I'm going to do the 1 3/8 first of all. 1 3/8. Make sure I've got that well butted up there, and I like to cut from the bottom to the top so that I'm continuing to push that paper up against there. Okay, so that's my 1 3/8, and I want that to be 5 3/8. Five and 3/8. Okay, so from that scrap of paper, I've got my 2 bits for this one, and I could have another one as well. Let's see, it does not use very much paper. And then I'm just going to glue both of those on there, and then we can do my die cutting. Isn't that colour just gorgeous? Gorgeous grape. Make sure that you've got your flowers pointing in the correct direction. So this is going to be the base, this is the top. Got ink on that finger as well. It's quite impressive how much ink I can get on my hands. So there's just a little margin either side on those panels, top and bottom, side to side. Okay, once you're happy with that, give it a press, and then this is going to attach onto there, but I found it easier to do my decoration on that panel first. So I'm going to die cut those pieces that we sorted out earlier. I will be back with you in just one moment. Okay, so I have completed my die cutting. These pieces are now excess to requirements. And I'm just going to put my dies away before I lose them, like everything else I seem to be losing in a minute. Okay, so we have 4 butterflies, but I only really want 3. And I put that little bit of ribbon on there, just really to allow the die cuts to stand out a little bit more. And that's something else that I have lost at the moment, is my tearing tape. So I've got some of this other sticky back plastic tape. I'll just pop that on there, give that a good rub. And put the backing in the bin and hope it stays there. The backing from that type of tape is even worse than dimensional backings for just being so static and clinging to absolutely everything. Now, I have decanted some of my liquid glue into a little bottle, and I forgot to leave it upside down. It's needing a bit of a refill, but I'm only adding glue to the bottom section of this die cut, in particular this bit here. There is glue coming out there. And then I want to put that over my ribbon, and that bit there is not glued down so that it can give a little bit more dimension. And then same with this, just adding it to the bottom section. A little bit of glue right the way down there. And I'm going to add that there. And the same with this one. So just adding it at that bottom part, because this one's a bit shorter. And down the length of the stem. Try and not get too much glue on me. And this one, I'm quite happy to allow it to go over the edge there as well. Okay, so that's stuck down. And where did my butterflies go? There they are. I want to put one of them on there, kind of covering up where the bits all join. On there like that, and then little one at the side, and another bigger one up at the top, and then we can finish our assembly and pop in our little gift. Okay, so let's get rid of the silly little bottle of glue now. We need the good stuff. We need the big one. I want to put that right the way along my tab. And then fold along that straight, not the diagonal. And then fold that over straight as well, and get that nice and firmly stuck down. And I like to do it the opposite way as well. There we go. That's going to just squeeze like that, but for your bottom I like to put the back piece forward first and just add a little bit of glue. It's just to hold it. That one goes over, those side ones. That side one goes over as well. It's all looking nice and square. And then lots of glue on the final bit that comes from the front round to the back, like so. Okay, so you've got a nice rounded piece there. All we need is our lovely little hand cream to go inside, and then I used a hole punch. So this is a crocodile. Any hole punch would do. And I'm just lining that up to get that hole there. Now I'm using the smaller of the two. If you do it the same way and use the same guide, like that, get it even. Good enough. And then this gorgeous ribbon, currently hiding underneath my pad with my measurements. And then I'm just, where are my tweezers? Let's just fold that over and pop that through. Because I've used the smaller hole, it's a little bit more fiddly to get through, but it does look a little bit neater. I'll pop that through. There we go. Make sure I've got enough. And we're relatively flat at the back, and just simply tie a bow. And like that. And that will do nicely. I'll just chop that off there, and then I can play about until I'm happy with my ribbon. I get my loops to be similar. That's a bit better. A little bit more. Yeah. And then just trim off the excess of that. And there, so I'm kind of just trying to do it in line with the sides of the box, and I'm going to do the same with this. I'm just going to chop that there and there. And the last little touch was to add some bling. These are the Purple Fine Shimmer Gems. And take your pick. Go with one of those, and I'll have one of those down here. And there we go. Two lovely little hand cream boxes using the Painted Lavender and stamps and dies, and the Perennial Lavender designer series paper. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. If you have, please give me a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, please do click on that subscribe button. Click the bell and get a notification the next time I upload a tutorial. Please also remember that this video supports a blog hop, so click on the link, click on the description, find my link, and then hop around the other lovely demonstrators taking part. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.